This episode contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to the Death Needs Dialogue Entertainment Network. This is the Depths of Fel'Dara, episode 17, Heralding Call, Part B.
Crosses his hands again and looks at all you in turn, and he smiles. And he looks at Cusk and smiles at Cusk and nods.
And those potions that he was given, like he'll nod to them and give them a slight bow and start walking back. Let's see. He'll wait before checking out those potions.
Okay. They're in a sack.
They're
You put them in a sack, a nice leather sack, and you begin to walk away.
Yep.
You guys leave Crystal Sphere?
Not much else to do.
Okay, so you guys depart for Crystal Sphere. You guys run into Nani and Galus at the bottom of that food cart. They have spiral
Curly fries.
and
meat
meat pies. Yep. Frank kind of catches up to you guys.
Frank, Errol looks over to Frank and he says, "Where'd you run off to?"
Damn business. All the time we ran away from Frank.
That's a soft 20.
Soft 20. Yeah.
Make it enough.
I had to make an offer to Brunhilde. He kind of moves off, his voice kind of glum, and moves off and grabs up a meat pie and drops off some coinage and slams it in his face.
Errol does basically the same thing, only he asks for a half one.
Half one?
Half a one.
Oh, yeah. We don't give half ones, my dear.
Nani offers him a half-chewed meat pie that she's been gnawing on for a while.
Pinnacle will get 3.
There you go. So, let's see. Mark off 8 silver each for each meat pie you guys consume.
Errol,
I'll make sure you guys are honest with your meat pies.
Keeping us honest, I don't even know how much money I have.
You don't have any money.
I have money.
I think you put it in my pocket.
You also have money, but I have money.
That's true. Nani may have had enough money to buy get you guys out.
on a person.
No, I only have like 5 gold.
Oh yeah, okay. You got enough money for a couple meat pies.
I'm gonna buy a gold's worth of food.
That's one meat pie.
gold worth of food.
What?
That's 1 meat pie.
I thought you said it was a silver.
8 silver.
8 silver each.
One gold?
Each. 10 silvers of gold.
Okay, so how much for
Well, we're at high times in Haldarian celebration, ma'am. I don't mean to.
2 meat pies and 3 curly fries? How much does that cost me?
Curly fries. Put them at 5 silver. You said 3 curly fries?
So what's the total?
So
I
15
really bad
silver,
things.
15 and then one. How 2 meat pies? 2 meat is 16.
16.
So 31.
So
31.
It says there's be 3 gold, my dear.
Okay, that's no problem.
She rounded that for you too. That you
Thank you.
You
gave
felt
you a
that
discount. Give you a discount.
Because you're preggers.
Errol only bought 1 meat pie and he
And because you got enough food for 4.
cuts it in half with a dagger and eats
She's got 3.
Delicious.
half of it.
It's delicious. It's like
Wait, did you refuse my half-eaten meat pie?
He looked at it and he was just like it was chewed, so he sheepishly
Insult in the highest order.
he sheepishly declined.
Rescinded.
At this point, Dell still has no money because all his money got left in the friggin'.
this is true.
It got left in the pious plate.
Errol offers him the
The half of his meat pie.
Half of the meat pie, he just kind of flips it up with one of his claws and snarks it down in a bite.
I can't do a potato spiral. I wouldn't make you starve.
It's half covered in chocolate, half covered in this oil, then coated with salt.
I'm just gonna.
He kind of he just kind of holds it on top of some of his claws and he's kind of sniffs at it for a second.
This is a new thing to the Shiers.
Yeah,
It's a new thing.
he just kind of sniffs at it, takes a bite out of the salted half, and he's like, "Now, all right then." Throws it up. And just,
It's on a stick.
oh, it's on a stick.
That's
You gotta get a stick
That's
in the
snipping all.
All right. Yeah, he'll slap it off with a stick then, and he'll just do that. That's just kind of his little thing. He's weird that way. He's like,
So I'm going to say
So, yeah.
you have another 2 weeks of spells to make. Make them up and do the math.
Okay.
And add the 25. Or if you roll any higher than a DC 16 on your performance for making them, take an extra 25% and add that to your gold, because I'm afraid you may not get into it. And I just want to make sure you get your due course for doing your downtime stuff. So whatever spells you can make for 2 weeks, say 3 weeks, add it all up and put that money into your gold. And you have sufficiently made a connection with Gerthen's enchanted hands, and as well with the lady. Did you want to copy any spells again? If you wanted to do any more spells with, I can't remember her name, Farron?
Fair Mildred.
You can probably get out 2 first levels or 1 second level before the time's out. And see what you want. We'll roll a percentile on anything above level 1. And first level, pretty much guaranteed you should have it again. Whilst you guys are at the Manson Wretch, Dermot will come to you each separately, and he will pass you a sack. A very heavy, laden sack of gold for your work with the mine and everything else you helped with. Everybody, except Raven, gets a pouch of 2,500 gold.
Cool. Oh.
That's
Excellent. I mean, I will not complain about it.
He's like, what am I going to do with the 1,500 gold?
you.
I don't work
Ah, you said everyone.
My apologies. I'll have to go back.
Everyone who is important.
But you.
Fuck you.
I would say because you recently are now in with security, I would say you would get a pouch of 500 gold. But these guys have been working.
I will take anything because anything is better than 0.
These guys have been working the mine for more than I, and have a lot more history with Dermot.
Oh, absolutely.
But still, you got that for sure.
We've been on the payroll for a while.
Yeah.
I'm not technically on the payroll.
Yes, you are. He gives
Against your will.
I didn't
Against my will. I am
anything
literally
either.
a hostage. I'm a hostage.
He does offer you.
Shut up and take my money.
Shit, right?
Yeah.
You can slip that in my
I'm
pocket
gonna
again.
give it to Bayless.
Okay, here you go. But
Honestly?
he does hand it over, and
I don't want his blood money. I hate him.
grab him. You get
I refuse to
Give
be
you
indebted to him in any way.
10,000 platinum.
I carry around that as pocket change
I was
too.
gonna say, he just has, like, the company credit card. He doesn't get paid.
Yeah, I got the black credit card.
Yeah.
Can I buy that cloak of protection?
Now that she has
Yes, everybody has access to that that list.
Can we go
Yeah.
after that list again?
So from the sorry.
Can we go over the items
Yep,
again?
I
real
will.
quick?
So put down Rough It. Just get double through
I have
because
4
you're the man heading up the whole thing. And
I'm
more than that. This was you doing a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got from the list.
If I don't do my job, none of us get paid.
Exactly.
Also, he keeps buying my shit.
So look from the top. First there is
Technically, Dermot's
we have
paying
some
again.
potions. There's some healing potions, obviously. Spell scrolls of guidance, spell scrolls of shield of faith, potion of hill giant strength, potion of resistance. Then you have a headband of intellect. You have proof against protection and location. Rod of the
Hill
Cat
giant.
Keeper +1. Another magical bard instrument, the Bandalore. I can't remember say the first name, so I won't. Cloak of protection +1, and you already called it. So
I want to carry out.
How much was it?
600 gold. +1 short sword. Pearl of power. Carry active wound closure. Called 700 gold. You got it. +2 long sword.
Here.
6,286 gold.
Nope.
Uh,
Is there any armor on that list?
There is +1 scale mail.
how much is that?
6,286 gold.
I don't have that kind of.
Yeah, these were the big ones, and the onyx dog, which is even more than that.
Is there anything that I can buy for 4 gold?
I have money
You just got
in my
silver?
pocket.
You just got 2,500. Yeah. So but there are
I'm
those
her
things.
trustee.
That's what Gerthen's Enchanted Hands has available. He also has 5 potions of healing and 2 potions of greater healing.
I'll take those 2 greater healings.
Okay, greater healing is normal prices, I think, 250 about there. So make it 500 gold then. Everything is basically doubled.
So it's
Around
1,000
this
for 2 then.
Cat looks like
No,
she's
take them both. Yeah, you got them. There's 5 potions of healing, 100 gold each.
What was the protection against?
Protection against detection and location.
What kind of item was it?
Oh, whatever you kind of want. You can have as a necklace, a hat, an earpiece, something like that. Where it just,
A nice hat. Like a fedora.
yeah.
Or a page boy. What are page boy caps?
Whatever flavor you want. I didn't put any flavor on it for this one particularly.
Oop, cat goes away. I was gonna say there's nothing in the magic shop, but can I take a look at some of the more regular shops and see if there's a way that I can maybe up my AC a little bit? I'm only proficient with like light armor. Right now.
What armor do you have now?
Just the leathers.
Just leather?
Just plain leather.
You'd be able to get studded leather? Easy enough, yep.
And that would put me up to
that's
what?
75 gold.
75? Okay.
Which
Maybe?
is the 12 plus your dex mod instead of the
Well, you see that? 12 plus dex.
Yeah, so
Friggin' right.
markup would be 100 gold.
100? Sure. I'll take some studded leather then.
Alright.
Is it possible for them to enchant a staff so it's +1?
It has to be created.
Created. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
He does say that he can craft one for you, but it will take time. And now that we're neck deep in Hildaren celebration, it's
Might
going
take
to
a lot.
take considerable time.
Yeah, gotcha. How long would it take, ballpark?
Oh, I'd say about
30 days and 30 nights.
God, no. Oh, no.
I'd say it'd take you about 6 weeks. You understand I can't work on it all the time. I have other pieces to work on as well.
Of course. So, nearly about a month and some change.
Since we're off the books there, what do you think of that?
Well, it's pretty good.
Okay.
It is a better version of Keith's.
So if nobody else lays claim to any of those,
So, that's...
At some point, Tannis is actually going to go look for better armor, just like regular armor. Because he's noticed that his chainmail is getting a bit beat up and not quite as protective as he wants.
how much gold do you have?
1,500 something? 1652?
1652. You can upgrade any armor. You're looking for probably heavy, so like scale mail or
plate would be nice.
plate.
Full plate is 1,500.
I would exhaust it all, basically.
Tannis doesn't mind being.
Yeah, but the thing is, where are you going for it though?
It doesn't have to be magical, though.
Okay, then you would know that you can get armor at cost for the Knights of Oros, from the Knights of Oros, but you have to go up to the top. It's going to take time. That's all. It'll take you the day to go up top into the structure, get
Can I go
it,
with
pay
you?
for it.
Can I go with you?
Is she allowed?
To a certain checkpoint.
You're not sure how far in she might be allowed. You're not in there too often.
Maybe I'm interested in joining the Knights of Oros.
Good luck with that one.
What was that hill giant?
I mean, I'm
Potion
technically
fill giant strength.
earning my stripes to get back into the Knights of Oros, so good luck.
I got some remaining stuff I want to buy, but I'm not going to take up roll.
Sounds good.
Time
Yeah,
for
that, yeah, that can just be off the books. That's no problem.
Tannis is going to spend the day and go up and get a new set of armor.
Okay, Tanith returns back with this very matte black armor.
Matte black, charcoal gray.
Ooh, fancy. Dell kind of eyes it up and down.
Yeah, these potions here that we were given, what are those looking to?
Oh, that's a good question. We should
I
have
haven't
a guy who understands potions to
Yeah, I haven't
identify
had the time to identify them yet because we haven't made it back to home yet.
Are we home now?
So you guys eventually identify them. The red ones are potions of healing. The blue ones are potions of greater healing. The yellow ones are potions of haste. The green one is a potion of resistance. Whatever you choose.
Okay. So you said the blue is greater healing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna steal one of those.
Okay.
And the red or regular healing?
Regular healing. What was orange resistance?
Haste.
Haste. So increase your movement speed and stuff.
Yep. Extra attack, extra AC.
I'll take one of those as well.
Extra movement.
Oh, add the inventory things. I like inventory things. I love the inventory things. Yes. Very nice.
I have that white light thing going on at the moment.
Oh, yeah. I just took this one because it's green.
Okay.
Excuse me. Fair enough.
Yeah, there was only one.
And I was gonna say there's one regular healing potion left. Who wants it?
Gale's grab anything? You got a healing potion. Did you get something from
You don't just
that?
throw
No,
it
I
at
didn't.
somebody.
How many potions were there?
He's got one.
2,
He's got
4,
two there.
I've got 2.
6 total.
6 total? 6 total, and then we have,
There's one green one.
okay, alright. Tall Greg can get one.
Does Tom Greg
Steal
want
one
one?
of his.
You should probably get a haste. You probably might be work good for a haste.
Do you want a green one?
No, you can have it. I know how you like green.
I like green.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I was gonna say, did you want the haste or do you?
Okay,
Okay.
so,
What are those worth? Anything worth a whole lot, or
oh, are you selling these? Or buying?
selling?
Selling? I did have them written down, ballpark. Ballpark, you could probably get about, I think, 400 gold for all of them. Might be a little bit less, might be a little bit more, but I have to go back in the book for that.
Nothing really extravagant, but
Expensive for a bottle, but not magic item expensive, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to do 400 gold, you can get rid of those with your contacts.
Right,
And,
she's got no fur there now.
They're really good job making them.
I might keep them just as a
good flavor.
more for entertaining guests if we absolutely need to.
You guys get back, you guys take care of all your stuff, you guys are spending the last few weeks at the mine, and then eventually you guys notice that one day the mines aren't running. There's no machine work going, and you can see the dwarves in droves fleeing from the mine.
Like
Go.
running?
Well, maybe...
Fleeing is a strong word.
Yeah, no, I was trying to think.
They were leaving with great haste.
To
They had a potion.
go
of haste.
to the Hildaran celebrations where...
It's a holiday. No one works.
Exactly. Nobody works. Everything's shut down. There's no more shops open. There is like food shops, things like that, farmers, things that you need, but most of the time, everybody's out enjoying, spending money on buskers, enjoying food, playing games of chance. And then the Pinnacle event arrives. The grand ball held in the crystal sphere itself.
So about 2 hours before we leave, I'm going to give Nani her shoes.
Ah, of course. So you guys are all getting ready. You're just coming down the stairs and everybody's ready. They got all the garb on, their reds and their pinks of the guard. Cereza hasn't arrived. You guys have to pick her up and then head there. But everybody's looking good. Tanith, your new armor. And you did get a new cloak as well?
New cloak.
New
Which has
cloak,
a
just
silver
look.
embroidery.
There we go. Just amazing. You guys are all spot on. And Delka, you did have some coins, so you could probably buy yourself some. Or no, you're in the liveries as well, of the guard. Nani and Galus are dressed in these large, poofy dresses that reach far, far around. Nani's is this wonderful, wonderful shade of green.
Nani, here are your shoes that you requested. I highly suggest you go sit down for an hour with these.
They come in a nice box.
She just hugs him. Awkwardly, because he does not like her. Wraps her arms around him.
It's quiet, everybody's kind of looking around. Raven's like,
Trying to figure out how to pry
on the
her
back,
away.
nice and light.
Moving on.
Erlon, his beige and green robes, kind of they fit well. They're very protective from the elements.
Very comfortable.
Very comfortable, and they're a little bit more embroidered than he initially intended, but such as the
They are.
yeah, they're a little bit more fancy, but at least they're durable. There's that. He tucks his new piece of jewelry he got from the magic shop, Periact, under his cloak, which is the cape part of it, and he has that insignia on his chest of Grinhelda, same with the belt.
Excellent.
And he looks spiffy, to say the least.
Alright. So Nani, you sit down. You open this box. It's a pair of wooden clogs. Green wooden clogs. Yeah, with this writing on the side. You can recognize the writing, and it's a spell of levitation. So you
Surprise!
Putting those on.
You put them on. You feel they're kind of tough at first, like clogs would be, but then they just immediately form to the contours of your foot, and they're amazingly comfortable.
Nice.
And an hour passes.
I'm just sitting with a stupid grin on my face.
For about an hour.
It's the longest time she's gone not moving when she's not asleep.
And then
She walks in her sleep.
Dermot comes down the stairs, sweeping this grand cloak of very, very shiny black, and kind of swoops it around himself, and he says, "Well, shall we?"
We shall.
Is it late in the evening?
Is this the part where I levitate?
And you have to activate the shoes.
You
Oh,
said
how do I get
2
my
feet
count my
taller.
heels together?
How many charges does it have?
It's just that one.
It just, oh, nice. So yeah, you want to try it?
Click my heels together and
You
like.
begin to levitate in the air, out of the chair.
This is the best day of my
Is
life.
it 30 feet?
Does the chair go with her?
Yeah, it's up to 30
No,
feet.
up to 30 feet. So you can get up to the ceiling. It's like 20 feet. You can touch the ceiling. It hasn't been cleaned up here in a while.
Can I walk on the ceiling?
Well, you can move around.
I don't think you can hurt
Just
yourself.
up and down. I think so. Yeah, it's just up and down.
Did you put all your shawls on like your dress?
Just green.
Just the green ones. Nice. Do you have your white one with the?
Yeah, that's permanent.
Gotcha.
That's forever.
Gotcha. And you guys go to the ball. You realize you have to come back down to actually move again.
Oh. Wait. In theory, could she lead me around like a helium balloon? That's the question. If if I attach myself to Galus,
No.
could she pull me
Gayless
along?
borrow those shoes though?
But if we held hands.
I'm not specific on if that works, but I have rule of fun that sure for dragging her around if you guys want, if you so choose to do so.
I'd say there's probably
I'm just
a
wondering
check
if, like,
involved, but
if, like,
probably not a high one.
Yeah.
so you could
If
feel
I
tall.
wanted to dance with like a dragon, would
Oh,
I levitate myself to eye level and then
watch those feet kick up, eh?
and then
But your
Yes.
skirt's not long enough, you'd look short.
Oh,
I
that's
was not about to
fantastic.
look. I'm just want would I just be floating in front of him like this?
Yeah, basically. Alright, so you guys
Fairy godmother's Cinderella.
Yeah.
head up.
I'm impressed. Doesn't like this idea.
Salakadoo, lamachikaboo, the bippity boppity boo.
You will
This
notice
is why I
that
waited
the,
until right before we left,
Yeah.
because I know what kind of shenanigans you would try and get.
Shenanigans.
You know exactly what I mean. You're already planning
I know
stuff.
exactly what you mean.
as you guys head up there to the main district, you get on the tram. The tram takes you up to the first district where it is, and it's thick with people again. Get up there. You notice that the discs that the people were traveling on inside seem to be filled with people, and there seem to be a whole whack of easy passage to wherever you want to get to. So you guys follow and you get on them, and it shoots you all the way up to
Free
the
passage
Fel'Daran
anywhere.
Finishing Academy within the boundaries of this place to pick up Cereza. You guys roll in there. You guys pick her up. She's waiting for you in the main lobby. That seems to be a whole bunch of them, all similarly dressed in these just wonderful, lavish dresses. But you guys pick her up and head back down to the Crystal Sphere. Walking into the Crystal Sphere, you will notice that there is a significant guard, a Knights of Oros, as well as guard for the Shiers themselves. And they're only allowing in just a line at a time. Everybody walks through. When they allow them in, they mark their names off of a list or some sort of scroll. As you guys approach, you can see that the Knights of Oros are as well dressed in similar black clothing like your Knight of Oros is. And as you approach, one of the people there, it's an elf dressed in shades of green and red, approaches your group, and he says, "Welcome, Cereza, Voice of Fel'Dara, and her honor guard. You may enter."
And us.
You're on guard. And accomplices.
Tanith and Company. Or Associates, sorry.
As you guys walk in, the noise significantly decreases again from the outside chatter and everything that's going on out there. And it's the same thing out there like it was before. There's games going on there. There's people drinking in the streets. There's people walking around with food. It seems to be a full-on celebration. And as you walk in here, there is a different music. You guys can hear a choir singing off in the distance. You guys can hear from people talking about it. I think it's the kids' Kobold Choir.
You thought you were going to say we
Yeah, we did.
for it.
The Kobold Kids Choir. You see that they are so I'll paint the picture what you see when you guys walk in. The crystal sphere is seems like it's just suspended in air in this place. You walk in on this almost sheer, looks like a glass floor that just reaches out. It's all been changed since the last time you guys seen it. In front of you, you guys can see this raised dais. It's about 100 feet wide, 100 feet long. And just set underneath it, you guys can see the statues for the gods in each corner, where it kind of points out. To the left and to the right of that, you can see this massive stand, about 100 feet wide, about 80 feet deep, that rises in the air about 40 feet. And you can see as the audience kind of fans up and back, so everybody can see the main middle. And there is another one across from you that seems to be where the music is coming from the kids' Kobold Choir. Now, you guys walk in here, and it is not as busy. About here, you probably roll perception, everybody, now that you're in here, to get a feel for the room.
As he enters, he spritzes himself with perfume.
Fantastic.
16.
9.
14.
14.
23.
23.
20.
Cat for perception.
Cat. Okay, anything above 15, you guys realize that this place is full of the most regal and rich folk that live in the Shiers. You can just tell by the gaudy jewelry that they have on themselves, the cut of their dress. You guys think that you overspent on your clothing. You walk in here, you feel poor.
Tanith doesn't care.
Tanith doesn't care. Every night of the Oris looks the same, except for you. You're just a little bit more shiny than everybody else.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I haven't dented it in yet.
Everyone's just thinking back to Brel.
The person that gestured you towards the dais in the very back with the kids' Kobold Choir. At that point, you can see maybe 50 or 60 other women dressed up in these very other fancy dresses in colors of Fel'Dara.
I don't like other women.
Cereza kind of looks around and she thanks everybody and she kind of gives you a hug, Nani, and she has a really big smile on her face. She seems to be really excited. But she turns and she walks towards the group and she's embraced that particular group. Now you guys are here. The Royal Guard has done their job. You do have to escort her back at the end of the night. However, you are here. And you guys can see people.
I feel like contractions. I think I need to look.
You guys, if you look up, the raised dais is also almost see-through, and you can see people dancing up there, just obscured somewhat, and they're dancing all around in this very formal type waltz up there, and you can hear there's a different music.
How far up?
Oh, it's only about 30 feet up. There's stairs on...
Levitate's only 20 feet, unfortunately.
Only 20 feet. To the front, left, and right sides, you guys can get access to them.
No.
But you don't fall when
Does it recharge every time I touch the ground?
It goes up and you can come down, up, down, as much
But
as
is
you
it
want.
10 minutes every time I touch the ground I get another 10 minutes? Or is it like 10 minutes and then it has to have the recharge time?
Since they're imbued with the levitate spell, I assume that since it's at will, it would just be once you.
So I can literally just bob up and down.
Yep.
Got it.
The night is very enjoyable. The food is great, Galus. I mean, they have everything you can imagine. Food from the sea, food from the mountaintops. There's roast beast. You can see this massive creature. This looks like a boar of some sort with these massive tusks, but it's been cooked and it's sitting there on a table all by itself.
Has it been touched yet?
Oh yeah, people will be digging into it good, for sure. And for the most part, there's someone serving it, cutting a piece off and serving it to you guys, but there's all sorts of food you can have, all the turnip and pepperoni you could imagine. Erlon?
That's you, man.
Yep.
That's your signature
But there
dish.
are lots of other options. So you
Upon
guys can dig in.
seeing the roast beef, Tanith will immediately start to salivate,
There you go.
and knowing that Erlon's been eating meat, grabs him by the arm and is like, we're going over there right now.
Oh, he's going to show you how it's really done.
Galus is not eating tonight.
Okay. Roll perception then.
Me?
Yeah, with advantage because you're not eating.
You're paying attention to something other than food.
13.
13.
Still a little distracted.
No worries. As you guys are around eating, you see everybody else eating. Maybe your stomach's a bit upset. You know.
It's her first Christmas without her family. She's a little
Yeah,
upset.
Del
That's a big
hasn't.
one. That's
To
good.
clarify, Del hasn't eaten anything.
Okay. Don't trust the food.
No, just not hungry.
Okay.
As he shoves his face.
Nani,
I'm levitating.
you're done.
Just
You want
Holding her hand.
swirling my dress back and forth, levitating.
You
There you go.
realize everyone can see up
I
front.
don't know. I didn't say I was levitating on the ceiling. Just
You can
levitating.
see you're doing that. Everybody's every now and then someone's clapping as they go by, looking and smiling. It seems to be
Thinking she's part of the party.
Best day of my
Part of the
life.
act.
Best day.
Erlon,
I can fly!
Erlon takes a plate of food after Tanith led him over, and he just takes it and starts just wandering about, taking bites here.
There are
and there.
tables lined up in places where you can sit and eat, or just stand and eat if you like.
Yeah, he'll just stand and eat and look
There's-
around.
So
Also,
really doesn't sit or use a bed.
Liquor. There's seems to be different kinds of wines and whiskeys and other strong-smelling alcohols being taken around and served to people. Anybody, if you want to partake in that, it's
Del, that is, like, just because of, I don't know, like, his background, I guess. Like, Del's not really interested in alcohol. The scent offends his nose.
oh.
So as he walks by, he's just kind of like, vile stuff. He just keeps walking.
Get a stern look from one of the wait staff.
The Mater D?
Maitre d'.
Maitre d', probably. Something like that.
One of them. You give a stern look when you say that. They move on. Smile on their face, serving other customers.
Galus picks up a whiskey.
The very pregnant woman starts drinking.
Nani sees this and just immediately levitates over. No!
I can't levitate over. I have to actually touch the ground again.
Yeah, that's right. You got to go
Clomp
straight down
over.
and then run over.
Slap it out of her hand
So
and
I'm
then
gonna say-
levitate.
Ladders on the floor.
I will try to socialize.
What?
Say what? With,
Character
with
development.
these guys?
Oh, hell no.
Nothing to do with us.
He's honest.
All right, that's
Give him
great.
point for that.
Roll perception with advantage since you're looking around.
Erlon is eating and looking.
Yep.
Can he roll perception
Yes, you
normally?
can roll perception normally. Yep.
Bring this whole back.
Nani's chit-chatting while she's levitating.
Chit chat makes you 20 feet in the air.
Not 20, like 5. Just enough to show you what you can do.
I was like, I just want
She
something
just wants to be at like eye level with.
I was like, you know what? I will try it.
She's never been taller than
What's
us.
your perception?
16.
16?
19.
19, okay.
19 on both.
Very
Oh,
good.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pick it
So,
up.
and Nani, you have...
Yeah.
No, that's not going to help you. Height is not going to
There's
help
not
you.
much that can help her at this point. She's kind of lost us.
But you do see this elaborate setup that they have here. You don't know what's going to happen, but you know something big is going to happen tonight. That being said, you guys can see Earthen walk by in the distance. He's got a nice suit on, a top hat, and a cane. He meets eyes with you, Rav, and he does kind of a half wave. He seems to be in conversation with somebody else right now.
Are there any other female elves here?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna go mingle with my own people.
Okay.
I'll take you with me.
Is this the part where you string me along like a balloon? Please? Can that happen? Like just 5 feet off the ground. It's not like I'm floating
I'll
above your
hold your
head.
hand and carry you with me.
Yeah, that's all I want in
There
life.
you go.
When we get back to the manor, then we'll lead you around.
I just not want to not have to walk.
So with
I'll just hold on to your
with the
dress.
perceptions you guys
Not
got,
even never takes another step in her life.
Delicate, did you roll perception yet?
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm sorry.
I only got a 13. Mine's
Yes.
Grab passing
that
people.
is a soft
Soft 20, okay.
Perceptive.
And Tanith, perception friend. How into this food are you right now?
Not as much as he usually is, because he knows he's still technically working.
Regular roller, please.
Yeah, he's on the clock.
18.
Okay, perfect. Anything above a 15, unfortunately, you see your own kind for a while, and you just go that way. And you have your back turned as a group of people enter this area. From your vantage point, where you guys are, you look and you can see those shorter among you feel sometimes when you look at somebody who's tall amongst the crowd, you can spot them out. But out of tall people in this group, which there are more, there's a lot more dragonborn in this one, you can see an even taller, armored male, human, he looks by his stature, walk in with 4 men around him, all dressed up in the same blues and blacks. They seem to have crests on their left chest. Several of them. You can at least see maybe 4 or 5 different designations. They all hold long swords, shields strapped on their back, and the fella in the middle is wearing this lavish golden breastplate. You can see gems of all sorts encrusting the edges and this big symbol of Oros on the chest. And he wears this slim, dull, slate gray helmet. As he walks in, he looks around and he takes off the helmet, and you guys can see this golden hair fall down and curls from the back of his head, and his beard as well is all curls, and he just kind of pulls his helmet out and he just closes his hand and the helmet disappears. He almost has this glow about him. He stands about 8.5 feet tall. But without word to anybody, and made one of the waitstaff gesture them in, he doesn't even look at them, he just walks in and kind of looks around, and you can see he's looking for something. But maybe doesn't see it and walks in. He grabs some alcohol, some wine from one of the passing waiters, and he goes and kind of stands somewhere near, probably within 100 feet of the Oros statue. About an hour later, you guys are still kind of eating, talking. Gerthin eventually makes his way over to you. You guys are discussing things. He says, you should really think about opening up a shop, making them scrolls yourself and selling them around here.
The thought has crossed my mind.
They're flying off the shelves, as you've seen. I've sent the gold by courier. I'll need some more, by the way.
More in the production, but current events have taken priority.
And your side hustles.
He nods and says, that's good to hear. I must go say greetings to other people. Have a happy Fel'Dara. He shakes your hand. His hands, just these huge dwarven hands, just dwarf yours, and he pats you on the back and walks off.
While I have him there, I'm going to ask him who some people might associate with me are. Basically ask him if I wanted to go up and introduce myself to someone who's more likely to associate with me than...
Well, he says...
That dwarf lady floating around over there. Gotta talk to her.
He looks around and he says, hey, if you're looking to open up a shop, go meet with her. And he points off in the distance there. And it's a dragonborn.
I don't really need a name. It was more just...
Flavor?
Yeah, just say...
Gotcha.
Them, and them.
Yeah, he says, He says, anyway, go over there, speak with Cormac. She runs up most of the property for owning places and selling from. And if anything, in the Merchants Field, she's with the Merchants Guild themselves, so... about an hour later, shit, we lost one there. So, it's eating. You go and see, Galus, you go and see a group of your fellow elves. Now there's a difference, there's half elves and regular or full-blown elves there. And they're kind of there in a group, speaking with each other in elven tongue. Mainly talking about how gaudy these dwarves are dressing up as and how much of this. Then,
as I float along behind, nodding agreeably because I have no idea what they're saying.
That's right. And it comes, and you guys get right up to them, and then you hear one of them kind of look and be like, and they all kind of turn around in unison.
And I walk right by them. I was really excited to see my own people. Not anymore. Galus gets a little bit past them and she says to Melanie, "Can we just go home?"
Do you want to wear my fancy shoes?
No, thanks.
It would take an hour for her to levitate.
I don't know.
And her center of gravity is very off.
There you go.
She'd be levitating this way. Belly down.
I'll pull you like a balloon. It'll be okay.
So about an hour later, you guys are still eating, looking around, taking everything in. You guys can see another form, just alone this time, enter the form. And again, the only thing that sets her differently, other than just the amazing visage that she walks in with, she is beautiful. One of the most beautiful humans that you've ever seen in your whole life. And she's got this kind of red, curly hair that kind of fades into gold, and she's wearing a fairly sheer pink, red, and white dress. It doesn't expand out like all of the dwarves are wearing here. It kind of forms her body, and she seems to have a slight glow to her skin. Just a slight glow. And she walks in with this graceful walk, like she's been learning how to gracefully walk her whole life. She walks in and she looks around again. She looks around left. She looks right. And her eyes stop. Just for a moment. And then they go the other way and she walks off in the other direction.
Can I tell where her eyes stopped at?
Roll perception. And that's delicate. Tanith, you've seen
18.
it also. 18. You do?
Perception?
Yeah.
16.
16, good. It's about 15 for the winner.
9.
9. Okay, you're not quite sure, Tanith, but Ravam and Delkek, you guys can see that she locked eyes with the other rather tall human with the 4 guards walked in. And she parted the eye contact and walked a different way.
Does she stand near a statue?
Let's say she does not.
Okay.
He's currently in that area. So, what's going to happen now is everybody is there. There's going to be a bell chime, and everybody's ushered to the stadium seating where you guys go up and sit. Everybody funnels into those 2 seating areas to the left and right. And everybody's all up there right now. It takes a few minutes to get everybody up there. You can see the Voices of Fel'Dara cycle in and push the last choir out. And they take the place. And then down below, there's a spotlight that comes down on one person. And they begin to speak. It is Immaculus Culo. You guys can see from this distance.
Immaculous?
Immaculus Culo.
Is the headmaster.
I like the name too, right? My daughter made that name.
Immaculate.
Immaculus Culo, yep. And he addresses everybody. As soon as he speaks, his voice booms around everywhere, and he says, in common, he says, "Welcome to the Pinnacle celebration. I, Immaculus Culo, welcome you, personally." And he raises his hands out, and the lights raise over on the Voices of Fel'Dara. You can see almost 100 women and men dressed in fine clothing and dresses. You can hear this hum gather in the background coming from them, and as he begins to speak, he begins to tell a story about a king, the king of the Red Ridge. He goes on that the king of the Red Ridge held this wall for many, many years, and there was a prince named Discretion, who came to take him off of this tower, while Discretion failed. And then it goes, the light changes, and on the main dais, you can now see a stone wall on the side of where the Fel'Daran voices are, and you can see two people fighting at it with swords, long swords, clashing back and forth with each other, up this way and up that way, and you can see him, he catches him on the wall this way, and then slices over his head, and then pushes him off the wall this way. Eventually, the king of the Red Ridge beats Discretion, and Discretion is forced to flee. The next scene is that of two large wooden boats, actual wooden ships, suspended above this dais, and you can see a battle of 1,000 ships. That you can hear Immaculus describe it in the background. A battle of 1,000 ships to fight for the grace of one woman. And the battle goes on. Again, they have Discretion and the king of the Red Ridge fighting on the main castle of this one ship. And eventually, after a long battle, Discretion wins. And the king of the Red Ridge falls off. And you guys can hear this big splash of water, but you don't see where his body goes. Then it changes again. There's another setup lit up, and it seems to be this green pasture. And you can see in the middle of it there's this artesian well, and it's shooting water up and it's bubbling all around, and you can see two people. Discretion, the prince. You can see him walk up to the water, and as he takes off his helmet, he takes off his breastplate, and he puts his sword down. You can see the woman Loria across the water, and he goes and he begins to sing, expressing his love to Loria, and in her response, her singing shuts him down completely, tells him that they weren't meant for each other. And then she turns and she walks away, and then the lights begin to fade and fade and fade as Draconian falls to his knees by the artesian well, and they fade to black.
Story of my life.
And then the lights come up slowly, and you can see all the actors on the bridge of the ship standing there, and then everybody begins to clap, and the crowds erupt.
King of the Red Ridge.
And then, after that's done, the actors all file out. The artwork, the castle, the boat, and the artesian well are still on that main dais when everybody is invited back on. There are tables brought out with food, more alcohol, and more music is being played. I also forgot to say that it's been snowing everywhere. Just slightly. It never actually collects on the ground or hits, but it has been snowing over the past 3 days during the Fel'Daran celebration. I forgot to mention that.
It's like illusory snow?
You touch it, it hits your hand, it's cold, it evaporates, kind of makes your little dots on your tan robe, but eventually they evaporate, but it doesn't actually seem to gather on the ground. Perhaps it's just too warm. But it does feel like real snow.
Interesting.
Cave is so large it has its own ecosystem.
Yep.
And then there is the Fel'Daran, Voices of Fel'Dara begin to sing. And they sing the song I was singing all along.
The reworked Carol of the Bells.
Yeah, the reworked Carol of the Bells. But they begin to start up, and you can see in the middle of this, those two tall figures walking. And they begin to walk towards each other, somewhere near the middle of the dais. And then they meet, and they stop, and there's just this kind of stunned silence in the room. Everybody's looking on. You can almost hear this. Everybody has a caught breath You can hear, could it be them? Could we be blessed by another visit? And then you can see the man reach out his hand and the woman meet his hand and they begin to dance. Begin to dance around. And only a few of the, how shall I say, more upper echelon families begin to join in, but they begin to dance around. And roll insight, everybody.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Nice. I am up.
18.
DC 14 is the fact.
Also 18.
Yeah, I didn't catch it then. Got 12.
12?
9.
9?
Our rolls are terrible, right?
That's 20.
17.
17, okay. Those who didn't make it just see these two resplendently dressed people dancing together in the most intricate way. It's a very simple dance, but still intricate. And they're just, from your points of view, those who failed, it looks like they're just hitting the marks. Like just making the grade. The rest of you can see their faces. Now, I'll have a question. Who do you guys think the male is?
High Priest of Oros, probably?
Okay. Who do you guys think the female is?
Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
I think you know.
I want to say they're avatars, but I can't think it off the top of my head. But
Okay. Alright, okay. So you can see them. You can see the male kind of look at Fel'Dara, and it's just this look of distaste and anger and bitter resentment. You see the woman kind of looking at him, and you can see also resentment, sadness, guilt, but also love. Intense love. And they dance, and it just seems cold. Just cold. And they continue to dance. Everybody's watching on, there's just still this captivated awe. Apparently some people think, but maybe not all of you get it. And then, who's the lowest perception? With the 9? Okay, you're the only one that doesn't notice. The snow stops falling. It's the only one that knows. The snow stops falling. And they continue to dance around and around this cold stalemate of you're not quite sure of love and distaste. In front of you, I'll get you to roll new perception on this one, because it's something else.
As that,
This is a DC 18.
as the
20.
Nat 20.
as that snow is
I'm
stopping.
getting all your good rolls in the way, that's all.
Yeah.
I'll roll and then I'll give you mine.
It's not an attack roll, so it can be above a 10.
Exactly.
Or actually, hold on a second.
21 that time.
Oh, right. Hold on.
Good, 21.
Yeah, I didn't pass that, but with 13, excuse me.
13.
Yeah. When the snow stops falling, Dell notices that, and he just kind of eyes start kind of flicking around, and he's just ever so subtly resting his hand on the pommel of his rapier that he's got stuffed into his costume.
So you say they flick around. Where do they flick around?
Well, where the snow would have been falling, I'm assuming from the sky. He's just kind of looking upwards.
That's what I wanted to hear.
And he's kind of, his eyes narrow a little bit. And
Reroll your perception. Roll it, add advantage to it.
advantage? Okay.
Yeah. No, from the other rolls. So that was
from the other
worse.
roll? Okay, so that was
worse.
a 13.
Okay, so
So that was a 16 altogether.
okay. So you
I'm still just a hair shy.
yeah. So as you're kind of looking up, you don't really hear it, but there's just this kind of the sound, this careening sound of something falling. Erlon, Ravum, 10. Would you roll?
11.
11. Okay. Erlon, Ravum, you guys hear it right off the bat. Something's falling. You look up immediately, and you don't catch it at first because it's just right there as you look up, and about 30 feet in front of you guys, this carapace body falls to the ground and just smashes into pieces. You can see a spear stick into the ground, stick up. You can see another one of those ant creatures fall to the ground, its back broken, its arm sheared off, its helmet hits the ground, flies off, knocks over a bowl of olives. All the olives fall on the floor. You can hear this. There's silence now. And the helmet, you can hear it spinning and then clank, clank on the table. As over there, about 50 feet, you can see something else fall. It's crash into the ground, this black blur. It's a Knight of the Oros. And from the distance, you can hear, as you look up, this pealing, squelching voice from one of the singers in the Voices of Fel'Dara. There's this black, resonating orb somewhere that's casting darkness. You can't really see, but you can hear it. And it says, "Mountains will crumble. His heralding call. Last gods humbled, beginning their fall."
Everyone has his quarterstaff out.
Then you hear screams, horrible screams of fear from the Voices of Fel'Dara running from this black orb that's set up in the top left.
I knew I should have stayed home today.
And
Nani is no longer levitating.
then, in the middle of this dais, about 20 feet away from the two rather tall creatures, you can see this darkness begin to rise, this smoky haze begin to form, and you can see as if someone was doubled over. They kind of stand up and stretch out as the shadow expands and they pull out their hands. Nani, roll history.
Okie dokie. That is 15.
15. You recognize this person.
I do?
There was a time when you were escorting a young boy by the name of Jordan,
Oh.
and you found yourselves in one of the pantheons on the depths of Keldrin. And one morning, you woke up and you found this black-haired woman.
I tried to tuck that bitch in.
Well, she did wake up, and there was a very violent proceedings that ensued, and she then turned and ran and jumped into the depths themselves. This is the same woman. You know her as Esme, mother of Jordan.
Previously deceased mother of Jordan, if I remember correctly.
She got better.
Although, do I know that? Was I aware of that?
He may have given you the name, I'm not sure.
She apparently got better.
Well, no, he made a deal with the devil, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Well, Keldrin's not the devil.
Close.
Basically. They're not bad.
While you're getting that set up, having seen
I
this,
quite enjoy them.
Dell is
Texture.
looking for Tanith. And he's just kind of coming up to him and he's just like,
Well, whatever this is, it doesn't look good.
Not good.
We don't talk like Del Jones.
Way to state the obvious, Captain Obvious.
oh,
You guys can see off about 20 feet away, right about here, this form unpack itself from a crouched down position and like it takes a breath. You guys can see this kind of, it almost looks like a cloak hanging about her, but it doesn't appear to be clothing. It just seems to be this shadow that clings to her body. As she reaches her hand up in the air and she squeezes it, and this black spear forms in her hand, and you can see these black wisps kind of fly off and kind of dissipate in the air. And as she throws it, alright, as she throws it, it strikes the woman in the back.
Killing God.
Oh, that's... That's a really bad con save. She had advantage and she rolled a 4
Ooh.
and a 1.
I can't use a dice of inspiration for that, can I?
She already has advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much why I figured I couldn't.
Yeah.
So you can see the spear take her right in the back. You can see her hands flare out. Oros sees it happen over the shoulder, and he grabs her by the waist and kind of caresses her as her body kind of falls down over his hands. And you can see her head kind of tilt back. You can see that glow on her skin fade away. And then she just kind of dissipates. But not like you've seen before, like ash falling around. She doesn't dissipate into something, she just dissipates into nothing. Away.
Fades out of existence.
And you can see the man look down at his hands, and his hands kind of crunch into fists, and he looks over at the woman.
Yikes.
Roll for initiative. And that is where we will end for the evening.
Thank you for watching the Death Needs Dialogue Entertainment Network. This has been The Depths of Fel'Dara, Episode 17, Heralding Call, Part A, Part B, Part C.